This
Oh
is
my
my hair. Look at one curl. That's my hair.
God.
All of it. See? In the back. Anyway, okay, Carrie's here. Carrie, oh, we're recording. Okay, perfect. So, hey, everyone, and welcome to tonight's team call. I'm excited to have one of our leaders from our team talk to you guys tonight. Her name is Jen Kelley. She's a 3-star lifetime diamond coach, a 2-star right now. She is the founder of Team Lead by Example. She's an all-star, a Success Club all-star legend with 54 months in Success Club. That's pretty incredible. So she's consistent. She is a mom. She's been married for about 15 years, coming up on 15. She has 2 little boys. And she's an authentically genuine person who cares. And what I've loved about Jen and watching Jen grow as a coach since I've known her since she became a coach is really watching her come into her own and find herself. So we talk about sharing who you are and being authentic and like being you. And I think, it's very tempting for us as coaches to want to try and be like other people and follow the coach that's in the top and do what they do. And I think we all struggled at times with that. But what I love about watching Jen grow as a leader and as a coach is that she's really found a groove and a way to talk to the people that relate to her. And she's going to share with us a little bit how that's happened and some of her advice on social media. But what I've learned is that when you share your authentic self, when you become vulnerable and you look to who you really are and what you're going through, when you can be open and honest about that, and you can share consistently about that, then you're going to attract people that can relate to that. They might not have the same struggles as you. They might not even have kids if you have kids. Just might be somebody who gets you or where you're at or is inspired by what you have done. And so I feel like my advice is to try and figure out who is it that you want to talk to and then find a way to be you authentically and talk to them. Nikki, can you mind muting? Because there's paper shuffling. I can't mute you. I don't have authority. Thank you. So I'm going to turn the call over to Jen Kelley right now. If I missed anything about you, Jen, I'm going to have you cover that. But go ahead and I'm going to just give you the floor, and then I might interrupt you or ask you some questions at the end. And thank you tonight for doing this, for talking to everyone.
Have to unmute. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I'll just tell you guys, and most of you probably already know me, but just kind of how I got started into Beachbody. I struggled with infertility for years and gained tons and tons of weight from depression, and I decided I wanted to do some kind of a weight loss thing. I really wanted to just lose a bunch of weight and feel good about myself because I was so depressed. And I started the Biggest Loser contest kind of thing on Facebook, and I got hundreds of people to join me, which was crazy. And so then I had somebody approach me and say, hey, you're doing exactly what a Beachbody coach does. And I said, what is a Beachbody coach? And she said, have you ever heard of like P90X or anything? I'm like, oh yeah, I think I have P90 or Turbo Jam or something. And she helped me realize that I could earn income to become a coach and just sharing exactly like I was doing on Facebook already. So I got into coaching, signed up. We didn't have challenge packs back then. So of course it took all of my savings to sign up. And when I invested that way, I knew that I had to give it my all. I started from the very beginning sharing, excuse me guys, I do have a chest cold. So if I'm hacking and sound like I smoke, I really don't. So I might sound like an old man here in a few minutes, but when I started out, I started just sharing my journey right away. I guess I didn't realize that Facebook was so public. I think I must have been in my own little bubble because I would post pictures of myself and I didn't think everybody saw them. I had no idea. And I started having people wanting to do what I was doing. And it started to kind of build momentum, just like anything new. When you start something new and you share it, or you get a new lipstick, you get a new hairstyle, as you share it, everybody wants that lipstick or whatever it is. And that's kind of how it was when I started. So of course I had this huge rush of people join me, and it was exciting. And I thought, oh my goodness, I could maybe get out of doing daycare, and get to spend more time with my children, my two boys that are adopted. And I just continued earning extra cash on the side, while doing daycare. And along the way, I kind of lost myself a little bit. You kind of get in these ruts as a coach. You start to kind of feel like, oh, maybe I'm not good enough. I'm not as good as, someone else, or you see someone else, going beyond where you are in rank, or maybe getting Success Club all the time, more points than you are. And that's where that personal development comes in. And it's like, you've got to do that. And I have a list for my coaches that says, if you need this, read these books. If you need this, read these books. I mean, it's like a huge photo. I could even share it in the Team B page as well. And just pull some titles. And if you've got titles you want to share with me, that would be great. I can add to it. And anyway, so I'd get in those little funks, and I'd always have to go back to when my business was going the best, what was I doing? What am I lacking right now that I feel like I'm struggling? And the one thing I always go back to is when you do a program from start to finish and you share your journey. Every single time I do that, I flip and get new customers. And I know people wonder how I have Success Club for 54 months. That is exactly how. It's just always talking about everything I'm doing. I did try the whole cold invite thing for a while. It's really uncomfortable for me. I'd rather have some kind of a relationship with people versus cold inviting them. So like another thing I talk about is my eating. I don't follow the containers because I'm borderline type 2. I have PCOS and I have insulin resistance. So I can't have a lot of carbs. And I am a carbaholic. I'm a binge eater, a recovering binge eater. And, it's really, really hard to stay focused on it. And you cut carbs out of your diet and it makes you kind of spacey. And I mean, already worse than I already am. So I share that with people. I share the fact that I try to eat on they call it keto. Melissa McAllister has a short little $10 Kindle version book on Amazon that is called Made. And I follow that more than I follow keto. It is so good. She talks in there, she stresses still drinking Shakeology. Don't tell me you are low carb and I can't drink Shakeology. Yes, you can. All the regular flavors of Shakeology are lower carb than the vegan. So that's I switched over to the regular chocolate so that my carbs were less. And she says it right in the book that you still can. So anybody that tries to tell you they can't, I will show them that page. And look at her. She looks phenomenal. So anyways, so I share those kind of things. And when I post on Facebook, I do not plan any of my posts. I am not a planner. I suck at planning them because I'm so random and I'm so kind of like in the heat of the moment kind of thing. Especially stuff with my kids. Like if they do something, I'm not embarrassed to share things. And even stuff with my husband, and Joe always knows before I post things that anything that could be embarrassing to him, but it's so funny to me, so why not be funny and share it to everybody else? So, I mean, people know me as saying that I'm a majestic unicorn because I'm a redhead and I have blue eyes, and it's only 2% in the world that have red hair and blue eyes, so you're pretty much a unicorn. So everybody jokes that I'm a unicorn. People tag me in unicorn stuff, unicorn mom, all kinds of stuff. So I kind of have grown this reputation, or I don't even know what the word would even be, that people just kind of know me for certain things. And I think the more you share that part about yourself, people remember that about you. If they have questions about keto, they come to me, or low carb or PCOS or infertility. And adoption. People come to me. And so I think I have all these little pieces of my life that I've shared enough about that people know to come to me. Yesterday, I shared, it was so crazy because the National Wake Up Call, the girl, I can't think of what's her name again. And you guys, National Wake Up Call girl. Anyways, I had already planned my post last week that I was going to post, and she happened to be the speaker on Monday, and she talks about how, you know, she was standing there and she was posing and trying to get this perfect pose for everybody. And then she shows the picture of her actually just sitting down, and she has like belly rolls. And when it was crazy because she shared that yesterday, and that's who she was. And I saw her post when she did that because it went viral. And so last week I had planned that I wanted to share that I don't relate to other moms that, you know, have housed a baby in their womb. They all talk about, you know, I grew a baby. I've got these stretch marks. I got my tiger, what do they call it? Tiger mark? I don't know. Tiger something. I don't know. But anyways, they talk about that, and I can't relate to that. So for me, I can't be like, yeah, I know what you're talking about. High five me, because I have no idea. I don't know what it does to your body. But what I do know is I do have stretch marks, and that is from, I call it my adoption weight, man. I have years of, you know, waiting to adopt and waiting to get over this whole infertility hump. So my weight gain, when I see those stretch marks, I remember why I have them. And it also reminds me of how blessed I am right now. I went through hell to get to my little boys, and I'm super blessed to have them in my life right now. And I need to continue to keep getting healthy for them and for my husband, my rock, you know. And so when I posted that yesterday, it was scary because I don't like admitting that I had gained back some weight. I'd lost 80 pounds, gained back 30 of it, and it just came back like within 2 years. I'm like, what the hell? Like I tried to get rid of it. Like, why is it following me? And a lot of it is my eating. I work out every day. I can tell you, I can count on both hands in the 6 years I've been almost 6 years I've been a coach that I have literally taken a rest day. I do not rest. I don't take rest days. I know I should. I just don't. It's almost like an addiction to me. I have to work out. Otherwise, you don't want to be around me. I'm not a happy person if I do not work out. So I work out every day. So you can see that when they say it's 80-20, 80% is nutrition, why have I not hit my goals? It's because I am not eating the way I should be. And when I stick to the way my body responds to food, which is low carb, I've had multiple doctors tell me that I need to eat that way because of my blood sugar issues. When I stick to it, the weight falls off. And it is hard. When you fall off the wagon, it is incredibly, incredibly hard. To get back on, those carbs suck you in, and it's an addiction. And you can't, unless you've had a food addiction like I have with the binge eating, you don't get it. And that it's hard. It is such a struggle. And I relate to people that are secret eaters, that wait till their family goes to bed and then they're mouth chowing and throwing the wrappers at the bottom of the garbage so that nobody sees them. And then when they ask, well, why is a whole box of Nutty Bars gone? I don't know. I somebody must ate them, you know. And if those things that I still was falling into every once in a while. So that's if I share that with people, and I'm not ashamed.
So when you first became a coach and you were kind of looking at other coaches and what they were doing, were you at that time comfortable sharing all these things that you're sharing now, or were you more trying to be that perfect coach?
I think in the very beginning, I watched a lot of coaches to be like them. Like I thought, okay, they look successful, so I'm going to do what they're doing.
How did that feel? Tell me like the difference of that feeling of trying to be like them versus you just being who you are. Like
it sucked because it was exhausting. I wasn't that person. So when somebody would message me, I didn't know how to relate to them because that I was almost like pretending to be someone else. And the moment I started just but I was kind of like an onion. You like had to peel all those little layers off. because I have people that are on my Facebook that I still view. They may not even say anything. It's probably like all psychologic, and I'm like psycho in my head, thinking they're talking about me. I know. I sit there and I think, oh yeah, they're all having like a big powwow after I talk or I post. No, they're not. They probably don't even give a shit. So I'm sorry if I don't care.
Everyone just cares about themselves.
Right. So once I figured that out, like those who care will, and those who don't, it doesn't really matter. And it's taken me years. So it's not something I just 1 year, oh, I was awesome. I could do all these posts and not be afraid. It's scary every single time. I still message my coaches. I have a group chat with my mentor and another coach. And then I have a group chat with my leaders on my team. And every time I post something, I said, oh my God, I think I'm either going to go puke or maybe poop my pants. I don't know. It's scary because it's those vulnerable posts that you know that there's somebody thinking, oh my God, here she goes again, or who's going to contact me? And, and yesterday I got messages. Oh my God, if I could screenshot them, they are so awesome. Some brought me to tears. Some were revealing that, they're too afraid to talk about their infertility because they're afraid that they're less of a woman because they can't get pregnant. And I get that. I get all of that, and I understand why people binge eat. I understand when they gain the weight back, they're embarrassed. And I know coaches that have quit because they gained weight back. They just quit. Like they're too embarrassed. And I'm like, dude, you are the same as everyone else. You're more than just a coach, and you're human, and you're going to gain weight back. It's normal. It's completely normal to gain some weight back. I think pretty much everybody on my team can say that, that we've all put a little weight back on, and you're like, oh crap, now I got to take a progress picture. So, but that's what our business is. We're supposed to be the proof that this stuff works, and we're also the proof that we're also human, and that.
People forget that. I think I think that we aren't really told that we are here to be real. And that's why I thought like you talking about this is so important, because it's really important. There's so many different markets out there, and someone that's attracted to you might not be attracted to me, who may be attracted to Jen Thatcher because of our story and how we persevered. Now, they may not have gotten pregnant at 40 or, been single until 41, but they don't care because they've watched her, they've gotten to know her. And I feel like, that's what we're here for, is to kind of, like you said, peel the onion and slowly figure out who are we supposed to inspire and how? Because it's not easy. No one told you what to say. I look at me and think, well, what are my unique things? So I think everyone has to sort of figure that out. And that's the hard part, right? Maybe not for some of you, but.
No, I think a lot of people say, I don't have anything interesting, or I don't have a story. Everybody has a story. Why did you become a coach? There's a reason why. You could be totally, totally fit, look incredible, and you joined because you want to help other people. Or maybe you don't like going to the gym. Maybe, I don't know. Everybody has something they can share with people, and you're going to relate to someone else. I have a lot of people that come to me that have been very overweight, and they're still very overweight. And they come to me because they're not maybe going to be going to somebody that looks super fit because they feel intimidated. Most people that are overweight are intimidated by someone with a good body. They just are. I still sometimes I feel that way. I'm on a market council with women that are tiny. They're tiny, and I'm like the biggest girl of all of us. And I just have to own it. Like, I just have to be like, you know what? I am built completely different than them. I'm probably 2 feet taller than most of them. So, and I'm me. So you have to own who you are. And if you struggle, people want to hear that. People don't want to hear that, you're perfect in everyday eating or whatever. I try not to make every post, obviously, on Facebook about Beachbody, I try to share at least 3 to 5 times a day, sometimes more because I'm super random. But I always share my workout. I always do. I had somebody tell me the other day that they have to unfollow me because I made a post about that grammar police thing. And they said, I think I have to unfollow you. And I'm like, oh, that sucks. I don't care. Yeah, and I was like,
you for them.
I know. And what I wanted to say was, how are you ever going to know that I work out? How are you ever going to know my stuff? I'm so funny. You're going to miss out. This sucks for you. But I didn't. I was just like, oh, I've had people unfollow me before.
But
bye.
Here's what I want to say as an outsider looking in. Like, I recognize that you have confidence to be you. And I don't know that that was always the case. What do you think changed to give you that power to say, screw it, I'm just going to be, like, what do you think let you do that? Because I think that's hard for a lot of people to share their vulnerability.
I honestly, and it's going to sound totally cheesy, but my husband, he has been the biggest pusher for me to just be myself. Like, he's like, who gives a shit what anyone else says? Like, people like you, and those who don't, so really, he goes, you're 36 years old. At this point in your life, you have how many more years to live? And those people that don't even talk to you or don't like what you say, so it doesn't matter. And he's the one that always pushes me to post certain things. And, you know, I'm like, oh, I don't know if I should. And he's like, but if you don't, who are you not reaching? He's like, there's millions of people out there that need help, that are diabetic or that, you know, are going through infertility, that want to lose weight. And he's like, you have to share. And you can't say, oh, I just want to help, you know, one person, or I'm only in this to, you know, just have fun with it. Well, if you're in it for money and to coach people, then you have to work it like a business. You have to, you know, kind of use yourself as the billboard. You know, you have to be able to say, if you join me, you're going to get all of this. I'm going to help guide you. I'm going to help you find that confidence. And I'm not the most confident person. It cracks me up when people think I am, because I'm not. I am super insecure, but I fake it till I make it kind of thing. I figure if I put a smile on my face and I can help someone else feel good, that's all that really matters. And I definitely get on a high when I post things like I did yesterday. And then, like, this morning, I was kind of like you just kind of go into like a little funk a little bit, because it's like I'm bipolar when I do that. And it's like a roller coaster. You kind of go up and you feel really good, and then the next day you're like, now what? Now I'm gonna post that's good or funny or, you know, whatever. But the confidence thing definitely comes from just practice, consistency, talking about your story. And when you start getting people that say things to you or come to you, you grow that confidence. It's taken me a while.
Power. I think that's part of the power, that the gift that you're giving back is knowing that you're inspiring somebody or helping somebody, even if they don't buy Beachbody. If you know that they're getting to move, then that keeps you going. And I think the more you put it out there, the more you know from others that are willing to come to you to tell you, you inspire me. Like, there's people that they're not Beachbody customers of mine. They don't even use Beachbody, but they, like, yesterday, Sunday was my birthday, I got all these messages, and a lot of people said, you know, keep inspiring, you're awesome because you're moving and you inspire me every day. Well, they're not my customers, you know, like, it's just good to know that you're making a difference. And I mean, obviously, if you can make an income, which you can, because the comp plan's there, if you know, build the team, but it's more than that. It's really about what's in your heart and how can you share what makes you unique. And I think when I look at new coaches, I try to have them take a look at, like, what is your story when you started? Why did you become a coach? And sort of breadcrumb that and breadcrumb your progress over time. For someone who's maybe in the business longer, like yourself or me, maybe, you know, like, look at, okay, 10 years ago, this is why I started. But I don't talk about that anymore. Yeah. And I should, because even though things have changed, like, I started because the workouts were convenient and I had an infant and I couldn't get to the gym. It just wasn't working. So it was easier for me. And I never had really been consistent at working out. So that led me down a path of just brand new, and it worked, right? It was a toolkit now that I have. but I don't talk about that, and I don't talk about why. I don't have kids anymore at home in the day. I can work out at the gym. Like, I don't talk about why I still do what I do. But I think it's important, like, when I look at how I can help me, when I'm, like, the outside coach coaching me, like, okay, Lee, here's how you can do better. I kind of look at that. Like, think about why you started, and then if that's not the market you want to talk to, think about why you stuck with it and why you're still doing it today. Because those people are still your people. This is my little bit of advice to those of you going, well, I don't know if that's really a story. Anyone have any questions for Jen? I know we want to keep this to 30 minutes, and we are at 28, or probably have like 3 or 4 more minutes.
I can't see any of the questions. So is there any in the chat?
There weren't. Someone just said bye, Felicia, and then
Jen Thatcher.
And Lisa said amen. That she has to work out. You don't want to hurt either. But
I know I had one coach ask in my team page if you market towards, like, okay, so she's like faith-based, and she's has a very strong Christian faith. If she market towards them, is she limiting herself? And for me, like I said, I'm everything. Like I'm a Christian girl, but I cuss and swear, and I'm kind of random, and I think I know she's very random too about that kind of stuff. So I think don't focus on just one niche. I think you have to look at every piece of yourself. Like, that's who you should, when you make your post, this is how I do it. Like, when I'm posting, I literally talk to myself. I know that sounds weird, but I talk because I want to attract people like me. So I want people, my tribe, to come to me that are like me, that I'm sure there's more funny people out there like me, so I'm sure they'll come eventually. So I want to attract those people. I want to attract people that are like me. And so I think that's how you have to market yourself, and just sharing who you are is going to attract, I guess, what you put out there is going to come back to you.
But I've talked to some of the top coaches who say that they're happy when they see people unliking their posts and not following them, because those people were not their fans. They're not like them. So if you do say things that offend somebody and people leave, then that's good riddance, because you really do want to, the narrower your niche is and the more people that you are talking to, that's a good spotlight. The more people that you do talk to directly, then the better off you are, because then you're reaching on, versus the people who are just not listening. It's like you're talking on deaf ears. So I say to your coach who wonders if, being faith-based is too much, you're right. She has to have more than one thing, but don't be afraid to share what makes you unique. And if that's the thing, then let people leave if they're offended by her God talk, because that's who she is. And she wants people that are inspired by that.
Yep, I agree.
That's, whoa, enough. Well, it was cool when you were in the back of the room. She's itching.
You remind me, did you watch that video of the BBC interview of the guy when his just wait for your husband to come in and start grabbing her out and dragging her?
He just yelled in the background, "Hey, Molly, come here." I want you to call this rescue her. All right. Well, no, that's really all I had for you. I just thought that hearing from you. There he is. Here he comes.
It's BBC.
Said that. Did you read that? Like, someone said, "Oh, the nanny, whatever," and it was like, no, that's a mom. That was a bad judgment there.
Yep. They actually made a spoof with the mom that shows how she would have handled it, and I actually posted it on my Facebook. If you get a chance, look at it. It's like this mom. She's got like 50 things. She's cooking, ironing while she's talking. It's so cute.
Go ahead. Any last words of advice for the group on this? No. How about I
don't think I have anything. I think I pretty much blah.
Okay. Well, I know that what you're doing is working and that you're consistently reaching new people. And I would say that you feel like it's quiet sometimes, because it is, right?
There's definitely highs and lows.
Advice is to keep going and keep doing it. And the people that I've watched on our team who really found themselves and do that find that it isn't easy, but it's consistency that brings those people to you. So I feel like the advice that I have is to be consistent. The things that I know that I can do that I'll just tell you that you know, I don't want to sound like I'm being a hypocrite, but like if I were looking at my page, I would say, well, let people know you're a coach, Lee. Like they don't know. Tell people what you're doing, why you do it, why you love it. But mix that in with what you do every day so that people get to know you, because that's why they're going to follow you, because you're funny or you're witty or you have knowledge or you know about food or you give them an exercise tip or you're, you know, super handy in the kitchen or you know how to make your cute little curls really curly and bouncy. You know, like they're going to watch that video like 5 times like I did, Jen. So that's what I think. And I thank you guys for tuning in. And again, if you have more questions, Jen's an open book. Just post them in a team page and she'll share. She said she'd share her PD list and we'll add to it if we have more advice. Anyone who wants to read about vulnerability, there's some great books by Brené Brown on being vulnerable and how that really can help you. And I've liked her book. So that's my advice. Okay, thanks so much. Carrie's going to end the recording and then post it later for us because I wasn't able to get that hooked up beforehand.
Okay. Thank you.
Really appreciate it. Good night, everybody.
All right. Bye, guys.